Aloha! Welcome to another online Grace Creative session, Hawaii edition. My name is Desiree and I'm the director of Grace, Girls Rising Above Child Exploitation, and we're excited to be doing another session with you today. I'm going to be guiding you guys through how to make these awesome leaf coasters, which can be used as a gift for a birthday or Mother's Day, or you can keep them yourself. They've got this nice cork backing on the back, and I've been able to use mine and they're pretty awesome. So I'm just going to guide you through all of the materials that you need for this project, and we'll go ahead and get started. The most important item that you're going to need for this project is going to be leaves and flowers and foliage that you've collected. So this is going to be the most lengthy part of the process. It takes between 7 and 10 days to press your own flowers. But yeah, so all you need to do for that is just go outside and collect between 15 and 20 leaves and flowers. I was able to collect, I'll kind of show you some of the ones that I got. I wanted some color for my second set, so I collected some colorful leaves and flowers that I found down around my apartment. So yeah, just some different, you can really be creative and pick ones that you think are pretty. But you just want to collect those, and then just grab a book that's laying around the house that you don't really care too much if it gets ruined. It probably won't ruin it, but sometimes there's like moisture and it gets on the pages. But all you have to do to press the leaves is just pick them up and then set them between the pages. I'll just show you, just set them, the leaf. Try to get them down, laid down flat as you can, and then kind of close to the middle of the book, the spine of the book, and close it. And then just repeat that process, put them, just between the different pages, and just let it sit for about 7 to 10 days. And after that, they should be ready to go. So that's the first thing that you need and the most time consuming. Off to my left here, I've also got Mod Podge, which will be used as a sealant and a glue to attach the leaves to the tiles. And then I've got some gold paint here. I've got a paintbrush as well. I've got 4 ceramic tiles. They're 4.5 by 4.5. Just picked them up from Home Depot. They're like 60 cents a piece. And I was able to get these cork backings on Amazon.com. They've got the sticker side, the sticky side, so you can just peel that off and attach them. And that is all of the materials that you need to do this project. So step 1 of this project is pretty simple. You're just going to take your tiles here, take that string off, and start grabbing your leaves and just kind of arrange them however you want on your tiles. This is a fun time to just be creative, and again, I really like the colorful ones, so I'm gonna just do a variety on each one. I kind of want them to match. They don't have to match perfectly, obviously that's part of the fun of it, but yeah, you can just kind of spend a few minutes playing around with how you want your coaster to look by just arranging the leaves and the flowers on them. And after you do that, I will come back and give you the next step. Hopefully you've had some time to work on your coasters. I've spent about 10 minutes here arranging my leaves, and hopefully the wind doesn't blow them all off. But yeah, I've got kind of, each one's a little different, but each one I tried to put some color, and one of them, it turned out really cool. I put the flower upside down and it kind of looks like an angel. So I'm pretty excited about that. But after you've got your foliage and everything arranged on your coasters, you're just going to want to take your Mod Podge here. And for those who got a kit, your Mod Podge should already be all measured out into a cup. But for those of you working from home, you can use glue or Mod Podge. You're going to grab your paintbrush and just move each piece piece by piece so you can remember where you put it, and just put a little bit of Mod Podge underneath it and stick it on to the Mod Podge. So just again, remove each piece, put a decent amount of Mod Podge on there so that it sticks, and yeah, just go through each piece on your coaster and repeat that process until you've got all of them down with Mod Podge underneath. So after you have gone through and individually glued down your foliage underneath, the next step is super simple as well. You're actually just going to go through and paint over the top of your foliage just to really get an extra seal. And for this part, you can actually just paint Mod Podge or glue over your entire coaster, and that's going to help it seal. It's going to give it a nice glossy finish. The Mod Podge is really nice because it does have that gloss. Those chickens are really loud, but that means that they're laying when they're doing that. So that means that we'll have some fresh eggs, which will be kind of cool. I've been making all kinds of things with eggs out here in Hawaii because we have a lot of them. But yeah, one thing to note on this part is you do have to be a little gentle just because you are working with, obviously, foliage. So just paint, when you paint over it with the Mod Podge, just be nice and gentle so that you don't get any rips or tears in your flowers or leaves. And just take your time and enjoy the process. That's one thing that I absolutely love about art, is that, you know, I don't like rushing, and just enjoying the process. So yeah, just take between another, 5 and 10 minutes painting the Mod Podge over the top and covering your entire coaster. And yeah, after that we will move on. Hopefully you were able to get your coasters all sealed with the Mod Podge. I was able to get mine all done, and the next step of this process is just going to be to let your coasters dry, and this process takes about 30 to 45 minutes, so you might want to go grab a drink or a snack while that happens. You also will want to rinse out your paintbrush. The glue or Mod Podge will dry fairly quickly on your brush and it will ruin it, so make sure that you just rinse that out with some water. What I'm going to do during this time is go over just a couple of facts and statistics with you. Grace, as I mentioned earlier, is a nonprofit that serves trafficked, exploited, and at-risk youth ages 12 through 21. And we like to do a little bit of education during these Grace Creative sessions. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about just the legalities around child sexual exploitation, what that really means, and go over a couple of statistics as well at the end. A lot of people, and you might have heard this term before, you might have heard the term child prostitute. People who are working in the anti-trafficking field are really working to eradicate this, only because of the implications. A child cannot be a prostitute because by definition, anyone under the age of 18 that's involved in a sexual act with someone over the age of 18 is a victim. And so the reason why I share that is to know that anyone that's involved in these types of situations, and this is definitely a way that our climate is changing, is to view people who are brought into this as victims, and understanding that there's reasons why this happened, whether it be poverty or pressure or whatever else. There are underlying issues that are happening, and we're moving more and more towards a system where we really want to go after the demand side of things. So that means people who are buying and purchasing sexual acts or pornography or pictures, or really soliciting young boys and girls to do these type of things. So again, the reason why I share that is so that you're not afraid to come forward if you know of any situations, or if you personally are being brought into these types of situations, that you can talk to trusted adults, you can talk to law enforcement, you can talk to us, you can call us anytime. We're here to serve you. Our phone number is 619-508-2747, and you can call and tell us about any situations that you know of or that you've been personally involved in, and we will do our best to be advocates for you and get you into the services that you need. But again, it's just important to know that kids and people under the age of 18 are not legally considered anything but victims when it comes to sexual exploitation and sex trafficking. So just want to go over a couple other facts and statistics with you. One is that an estimated 30,000 victims of sex trafficking die each year from abuse, disease, torture, and neglect. And 80% of those sold into sexual slavery are under the age of 24. Some are as young as 6 years old. And the other thing that I wanted to talk to you is just about the high occurrence that there is in both runaway youth and youth that have been in the foster care system. There's a higher occurrence. It's about 50% of kids that run away are approached within 72 hours by a pimp or trafficker. So that's just something really important to know, that that is definitely a risk. Young people are definitely vulnerable to these types of things, and it's just important to be aware so that you know if that this can happen to you or someone that you know, and it's also important that you know who to turn to if something like that does happen. So hopefully that was helpful. At the end of this video, we're also going to put up the number. There's a national hotline number for sex trafficking, and you can call that phone number anonymously and give tips to know and to inform law enforcement about these types of situations if you're suspicious. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful information, and we will come back and finish the last few steps of this project together. It's been about 30 minutes and my coasters are looking pretty dry. I've got kind of a nice glossy coating over here, and they're looking pretty good. So I'm just gonna show you guys how some of mine turned out. This is the one with the little angel. I think that flower looks like an angel. Thought that was really cool. This one isn't quite dry, but I think if I start on the other ones, by the time I get to it, it will be. So just a couple more steps to go. This one, you're going to want to grab your paint. It doesn't have to be gold if you have other colors laying around. I chose this one because it kind of has like a shimmery finish, and I wanted something that had just a nice like shimmer on the outside. So again, I chose this gold color. It doesn't have to be if you don't have this one and you're doing this project at home, but I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that gold paint out. And basically all you're going to do is just kind of paint over the top of it, and it's really your choice and how you want this to look. On my first one, I decided that I wanted to paint over top of the leaves, and that was really nice. It kind of gave a good finish, but it did kind of distract from the colors. So I think on this one I'm going to try to paint like around the leaves and flowers, just to give it just a little bit of color. And you might have to do a couple of coats to really get it popping. You can't see on the camera too much, but I can see from right here that I am getting some decent shimmer and color. But yeah, and again, you can be creative with this and make it your own. If you want to paint over top of the leaves to get that finish, you can do that. But yeah, just spend again about 10 minutes on your own just painting and using the colors that you have to just do an overcoat over top of your flowers and Mod Podge. Hopefully you were able to get your coasters all painted. I was able to finish mine. I ended up painting over the top. I tried to do the precision painting on the sides of the leaves and stuff, but it just wasn't turning out right and I didn't like how it looked. So I ended up just painting over the top, just as a variation, to give you a variation. The next time that I do this project, I'm actually going to do my paint first before I glue down the foliage. That way I can have those colors pop a little bit more. I still think it looks cool this way, but next time I'm going to do it with painting before, so that I don't have to put the gold paint over top of the leaves. But yeah, the final step would just be to let this dry, and then you're going to want to do one more coat of the Mod Podge over the top just to seal it. And then after that's all dry, you just take the cork backings and attach them to the back by peeling off that sticker side and attach them. And then they'll be all done and they'll look something like this when they're finished. So we super appreciate you tuning into another Grace Creative session with us today and putting up with all of the fun Hawaii noises in the background. Hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you will tune in with us next time. Take care. Blessings. Bye.